whole new season of the Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe begins here at Imola. The big talking point of the weekend, though, is the entry into the championship of Valentino Rossi. The 9 times MotoGP champion has done car racing before, but this is a major commitment.
We've arrived here at Imola, the first round of this championship, to find out what this brand new series is about, how esports is integrated into it, why Fanatec are a massive part, and also how the points for this championship work. We're going to be chatting to a few people, the CEO of Fanatec, to really find out how this all works.
Pro and Silver class teams taking part in the Endurance Cup must also enter the Fanatec Esports GT Pro Series. Teams must select one of their 3 drivers participating in the full race weekend to also take part in the virtual event. This year's esports grid is capped at 17 Pro and 12 Silver cars. To achieve that number, a form of hot lap qualifying has been introduced after each driver's practice session, which determines the 29 drivers progressing to the qualifying and race. The top 5 finishers in each class now score points on a 5-4-3-2-1 basis and boost the maximum number of points available across the virtual season from 15 in 2021 to 25 this year.
We've got sim racing and real life motorsports put together in a championship. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, it's a super exciting experiment we had last year when we first did it. We saw some intensive races where the drivers were fully sweaty after 1 hour, so it was real motorsport, and then everybody was super excited, and now we're in season 2.
So what does having an esports event inside of a real championship mean for the future of esports and potentially the future of drivers, sim racers, molding together?
Merging those motorsport and esport together is a perfect complementary thing, because it's a super easy way to get more exposure. You reach the young audience, and with sim racing we have access to millions of talents. Where you say, okay, doesn't matter your financial background, we're just interested in your talents, how steady, how consistent you are, how steady you can drive, how concentrated you can drive, etc. And this is opening a complete new chances for people to get into motorsport just by talent, not by money.
As the Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe became the first ever series to incorporate a competitive esports element, BMW and Fanatec partnered together to produce the world's first interchangeable steering wheel that's designed for both racing on a sim rig and the brand new M4 GT3.
What makes this steering wheel different to every other steering wheel that's on the grid and in normal racing cars?
This steering wheel has been designed together with Fanatec to be able to use on the race car, but also at home for the sim races. And I think this is extremely unique. You have the upshift paddles, which goes to both directions. And this at home, it might not be so important, but for a race car, it might allow you during your lap to have one hand free and up and down shift. And that's why you have the paddles which go to both directions. Another small example, some of the people were asking, why do you have this part of the steering wheel? But in some street circuits, and when you have to maneuver the car, you need to use this part, and the steering can be very heavy, so the mechanics and the drivers sometimes they need this part. And I have to say, for the moment, every single professional, amateur and sim racer who has had this steering wheel in his hand, love it. So I think we have to congratulate Fanatec, BMW Motorsport, and the drivers, of course. Because we did get an incredible piece of engineering.
It's 25 points for a win, and points go to the top 10 in each of the classes, with, for the teams, a further 5 if your driver wins the on-site esports race that happens in the Fanatec Arena.
There is the potential now for drivers to get themselves back into real-life racing, because there's some who would go through the karting, not have the funds, potentially can find this through esports and get back into racing for a real-life team. It's a really cool idea, and things are looking very positive at the moment. I'm here in the Fanatec Esports Arena, and I've got the Fanatec BMW wheel in my hands. I'm going to try it out on the sim and see what it's like. The hands feel like they're in a good position. The grip isn't too wide. How do we fare into turn 1? We make the apex which is important. Yeah, the grip doesn't feel like it's too wide, doesn't feel like my hands are struggling to reach around it, and I can reach all of these buttons with just a slight adjustment of my hand, but it is still connected here. You've also got these, which are gonna spin. They don't feel too heavy. I feel like it's a nice click. You know when you've selected a different option. The Fanatec and BMW have done a great job for not only ease for sim racers, but also ease for their own drivers in the real cars. We've had a look at the Fanatec BMW wheel. Is that going to give an advantage using a wheel they're so acclimatized to in the car, or, you know, are all the wheels top quality standard?
Of course they are. But BMW now has an advantage. This is why we are trying to set up more deals with other teams, and my vision would be to have all the cars with Fanatec wheels. Obviously, I mean, that would be cool, but it will probably still take some time. In the competition, everybody's using the same wheel, and so nobody has a real advantage.
Okay, so BMW aren't using that wheel in this event. They just get to use it at home to get used to what it would be like when they come to the track for the real life racing.
Future, when there are more teams which are using their own wheels, and then I think it would be cool if everybody brings their own wheel, but not yet.
The trophy looks really cool as well. The Fanatec pedals, you know, painted gold, silver, and bronze. They look really, really good.
To be honest, it was a surprise for me as well. We did not tell them to do that, but of course I think it's very cool there.
The championships operate for both drivers and teams, and across the course of the season, there's a combined championship, there's an endurance cup, and also the sprint cup.
What is the significance of having this wheel in the car?
For me as a driver, I just think it's fantastic that I can practice with the same wheel at home as I have in the car. It's just the feel, the recognition of all the buttons. It's just super nice. It's way better than using a wheel that completely does not represent the wheel you have in a car. And then I think for everyone that's not driving an actual race car, how cool is it to say, I have the same exact steering wheel?
Is it great for you to see the transition between sim racing and real life racing becoming a lot smaller? That is becoming a lot closer together.
I really always have been a big fan of this. Like, once I started seeing similarities between my mistakes on the simulator and my mistakes in real life, I knew that, hey man, I can work on myself in the simulator, and it's about 1,000,000 times cheaper than doing it in a real car. So for me, sim racing really, really works, and I'd love to see more proper sim drivers get a chance in a real car, because man, sometimes on the sims, getting my whooped by them, and I would love to see how they would perform if they get the same opportunities as we do. So I've been a big fan always.
We're here now at the SRO Hospitality, and we're going to have a chat with Stefan Rattel. Now, he was really keen to integrate the esports into the current GT World Challenge, and of course collaborate with Fanatec. So we're going to see how that collaboration came about, and also where the idea came from. We have esports and racing together for the first time. How has that idea come about? What made you decide to bring those two things together?
Thomas Zuckermeyer. You know, we started e-sport competition during COVID. Because during COVID, all our real racing stopped. We had a company with nothing to do, and we had this license with Assetto Corsa Competizione. So the idea came from someone in the company, Anthony, who said, but we could organize a competition. I think in some way it was noticed by Fanatec, and I met 2 years ago here at Imola with Thomas, and he said, but why don't we merge reality with digital? And you know, each year brings us younger drivers, and this young driver, more and more of them are really a strong experience in sim racing. So they come very, you know, with a real talent for it and a real appetite to do it, and it works very well.
24 GT3 drivers split across 2 classes will compete inside this, the Fanatec Arena. Welcome everyone to Season 2 of the Fanatec Esports GT Pro Series.
Let's go watch these drivers and see who's going to be taking home those 5 championship points and taking those golden pedals. Let's go.
Neil Verhagen, the BMW Junior, aboard number 50, on pole position. Why is it 50? Because we're celebrating 50 years of the BMW M brand.
Right, they're on the formation lap at the moment. Cars on the grid. I think the pace car's in, so they'll be getting underway any moment now. It's a 1 hour race. Hopefully everyone gets through cleanly. because you hate to see someone's race ruined on the first lap, but this is the pace where that's going to happen.
The first round of the Fanatec Esports GT Pro Series from Imola set to get underway.
Here we go, green flag. Everyone looks like they're getting through, but this is the corner where, I mean, you turn slightly left, so you're braking at an angle, but so far the two leaders got through okay. A few cars looking like they've gone over the gravel.
And look at this, Nicky Team is right there on the back of Alexander. Almost gives him a little tap. Now lines up for a go on the inside. Last of the lane breakers to Tamburello. Done it, bit of contact, but Nicky Team goes through. Now the lead is extending. Neil Verhagen is getting away from Yuki Nomoto, and he in turn is busy defending from Danny Junquedea.
It just goes to show that using the BMW Fanatec wheel and the partnership that they have between the two of them helps with the development, because, you know, it's allowed them to be comfortable when they practice at home.
The beautiful new M4 GT3 with, of course, a sim racing steering wheel that is used both in the real world but also can be put onto these rigs right here.
Neil is still leading, but now by 23 seconds. You got Nicky Thin, who is now moved up into second place after great strategy with the pit stops and a few penalties for some other drivers as well.
And it is going to be a win for BMW. It is going to be a win for an all-smiling Neil Verhagen. Checkered flag is ready.
There we go then. There we
Neil
go.
Verhagen, he wins round one. First time we've seen Neil in the championship, and what a debut.
Very, very exciting stuff, especially for Fanatec, because they've been working with BMW to create that wheel. Maybe some other teams might need to look into that and help their own drivers with the progress at home.
And it's €2,500 to our third place driver, Jussi Pukaha. In second position, €4,000 to Nicky Team. And the €6,000 check to our winner, the Dominator, Neil Verhagen.
Congratulations, 5 points in all the hard work that the team have put in to redevelop the wheel with Fanatec and get that extra support, and racing at home has definitely helps out, surely.
Yeah, the event like this is amazing to have on the weekend. It's fun, it adds a different twist to the weekend. This is my first time doing GT World Challenge in the series in general, so I didn't know what to expect coming into not only the series but the sim race as well. And I guess we started off on a good foot.
I mean, it wasn't just a win, it was kind of a bit of a domination, you know, 20 seconds in the lead. Did it feel a little bit nervy at some point that something could go wrong with that big lead, or were you just calm, collected, everything under control?
It takes such concentration to be on the level of drivers that we have here to keep managing this and to not make the mistakes and to make sure that the pit stop and every lap is just consistent. It was a difficult task, so it kept me well busy while I was driving, but I think that helped to not make the mistakes in the end.
Well, congratulations again on the race win, and good luck on the next one.
Thank you.
There's a long championship left to go in the esports aspect, but they are going to mean a fair few points, and who knows, in motorsport you can win by 1 point in a championship and it may just be one right here.
There are 52 cars from 9 manufacturers on the grid this weekend. All of them, through the balance of performance, incredibly competitive. So up to the grid they come. They don't stop on the grid, remember it is a rolling start. They have to be absolutely one behind the other. You're not allowed to dart left or right until you get to the lights. The race direction team very keen on enforcing that. But the opening round of the 2022 Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe about to get underway.
Look how close the pack is at the moment. Over 50 cars on this grid. It is absolutely incredible to see.
That's Nicky Ellerly looking to try to make a move. He's going to the outside line. Look against Jack Aitken. Can't find a way through.
You can see sometimes the cars flashing their lights to distract the driver ahead.
The BMW looks very strong in certain parts of the circuit, and Jack Aitken, I don't know how much he's got. I think if the BMW gets ahead of the Lamborghini, it's gone.
So it looks like we are getting ready now for a driver change and a pit stop, as we've got Nicky getting himself ready to jump into the car.
There's the 16th place BMW. Neil Verhagen at the wheel of it. He absolutely dominated the esports race yesterday. As, look at this, Valentino Rossi now has called his teammate Jean-Baptiste Simoneau, another of the WRT Audis. So Valle here going for a place.
Here we go then, first driver change for the junior team. Neil's done a good job. He'll be getting out of the car now, and then new driver straight back in. as the cars drop, and away they go, and it just rumbles through. That's a great sound from all the cars in the GT field. Starting P18 up to P16, so a couple of positions gained. Successful stint for you?
Yeah, it's like kind of just how I did it in the sim. I just was doing my own race, not making any mistakes, and that's how I made the two positions in front of me. I had two drivers in front of me make a mistake, and I capitalized on their mistakes. It's a long race still. We still have 2 hours to go, so it wasn't super critical to be super aggressive in the first stint and do crazy radical moves to make up positions. The race will come to us.
It's up the hill. The BMW should be in position to consolidate, but a side-by-side. Yes, the BMW's taken away one position.
Oh, that was close. It's such a tight pit lane here. Look at all the smoke coming off the bottom. That is all from the brakes overheating there as they slam on the brakes coming into the pit lane and hoping not to lose too much time. It's underway, off they go. A slightly slow pit stop there from the team. Just a little bit frustrated. They were just too close in the pit lane, so he had to overshoot his box to try and get in there. Annoying, but yeah, hopefully he doesn't lose him too much time.
Oh, in the background, a big hit. Dear BMW, that's a 50. I think that's the Bentley. It's the Bentley. Matthew de Robiano, and that's not going to be the end of the thing. No, that's not at all. That is a massive hit.
The team's currently running in 15th and 16th. Good for the junior team. They've made up a couple of places as to where they were on the grid. They also made a good overtake out on track as well earlier on. But for the main team, a few positions lost. I think that was maybe done in the pit stop with the little bit of delay having to push the car back. So unfortunate for them, but hopefully get back in the race and see what could happen. Hopefully move into that top 10. That'd be a great result for the team.
He will certainly drag the max performance out of the 98 car. Nobody better behind the wheel of a BMW than Nicky Katzberg. But Augusta Farfus would disagree with that.
With 2 driver changes down, I'm back again with Nicky. How was your stint? Still in 12th position. Was it a bit close out there?
It was mega close. I mean, we unfortunately lost like 20 seconds in the first stop.
Yeah.
Which I think dropped us out of the top 20. But I had a very nice stint. The car was really good, really strong on the curb. It's a bit stronger than the guys ahead of me, so I think I passed 6-7 cars. And now Augusto's in. Hopefully he can go forward and we finish inside the top 10.
That's a bit scary. There was a car with, well, basically they must have shunt. All the doors failed, and the door is basically slightly open.
That door with the wind pressure ain't going to stay there terribly long, and I would imagine he's going to have to make a pit stop. He might as well come in and get it attended to because he's just not fast enough to stay out there for any real benefit.
P11 at the moment, so just outside the top 10. But 5 minutes still left to go. They are in a train. Potentially there's a chance to nick P10.
The checkered flag at the ready then, and it's going to be a win for Dries van Tor, Charles Calvin and Linda in the opening round of the Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS Endurance Cup. It's a win for Audi, and it is going to be second for Mercedes as Jules Gounon storms across the line with Daniel Cadea and Raffaele Marciello's help. It's Mercedes third as well. Lucas Stoltz, Stein Scotthorst, good return to the championship, and Mauro Engel.
I think a solid result for the team. P11, just missing out on the top 10, but considering what happened, especially with the pit stop, losing a few positions there, being able to work their way back up, I think P11 is a good result. So well done to the team, and I'm sure they'll be very happy with that.
Ready for champion!